Online you can find dozens of game reviewers, whether they be happy, angry, irate, or whatever. But they all review console games, home games. None of them review the little 1-hour treasures that I like to call arcade games. Hi, I'm Michael V, and this is Arcade Guts. In the late 80s, Taito came out with a game that was a fusion of a platformer and a beat-em-up game. This game was called Rastan. Not only is Rastan a platformer and a beat-em-up game, but Rastan also serves its purpose as an adventure game. Actually, when you play the game, it really makes you want to go out in the woods and have an adventure of your own. An adventure of your own. So at the beginning of the game, you're greeted with the title screen, Rastan, followed by the story, which isn't much. What we see for the story screen is you see Rastan much older, and he tells us that he used to be a thief and a murderer, but he had to be that way in order to survive such terrible times. And then he welcomes us to come and sit beside him and listen to his tales of battle. The score for this game, in my opinion, is one of the best compositions of music that had been made for a video game in the 80s. The whole game is difficult. The enemies are randomly generated, so you can't play the game a lot and memorize where each enemy is and be prepared for them. No, they just come out of nowhere and kick your ass. The platform aspects of the game are difficult as well. You have to play the game a couple times to really get used to the way that Rastan handles. And even when you get really deep into the game, they add obstacles that weren't there at the beginning that are probably going to kill you off and make you pump in more quarters. But then again, isn't that an arcade game's job? Now, Rastan is supposed to be the biggest badass the world has ever known. But for some reason, when you hit water, you die. So you're telling me this guy can kill giant lizard monsters, but he can't swim? The game's fatal flaw is the fact that when you die and you get to the countdown screen, if you press the attack button, you go to the game over screen and you have to start the whole game over again. So you can accidentally lose your progress in the game like that. The game is divided into 6 rounds. Each round is divided into 3 levels, the first of which is usually an outdoor or cave exploration, while the second is usually a castle. And finally, the third level of each round is a boss, and that's where things get sticky. Because the hack and slash aspect of this game is great for when you're running around, but when it comes to fighting the bosses, it doesn't really work all that well. So oftentimes you find yourself hitting the boss in the shin and hoping to God you don't die before they do. I love this game. Rastan is one of the best arcade games in existence. In my opinion, it should have a 5 out of 5. However, because of the learning curve, its difficulty, and its game over screen problem, I'm going to have to dock it a point and give it a 4 out of 5. But don't let that stop you if you see it in the arcade from getting a fistful of quarters and pumping it in. Just realize you probably won't beat the game on your first go around. So until next time, I'm Michael V, and this has been Arcade Guts.